February the 25th, ferns and fungi. The most commonly noticed wild ferns in woodland now are the broken winter-worn fronds of the male fern, Dryopteris felixmas. After bracken, it is the most common fern in Britain, with the advantage that it remains green all winter. This unusual feature, coupled with the fact it does not have any visible seeds, meant in the past it collected a rich folklore. If all the fronds except 5 were cut off, a developing rootstock, you were left with what looked like an arthritic hand. In medieval times, these cut rootstocks were sold as necklaces to ward off enchantments. They were called lucky hands and lucky fingers, with even dried pieces of the rhizome being bought to eradicate tapeworms. In the Victorian period, with their craze for ferns, many different varieties and forms were collected for their damp and shady gardens. Favoured genera included the maidenhair ferns, Adiantum, lady ferns, Atherium, heartstone ferns, Philitis, male and buckler ferns, Dryopteris, polypodes, Polypodium, shield ferns, Polysticum, spleenwits, Asplenium, hard ferns, Blechnum, and royal ferns, Osmunda. Fortunately, examples of all these genera can still be found in London and not necessarily restricted to gardens. A small group of different winter hardy ferns can be found in Norbury Park, where there are good displays of another species which is green throughout the whole winter, the heartstone fern, Philitis scolopendrium. Culpeper tells us this was very good for dealing with passions of the heart. Other less common wild ferns to be found there are the hard shield fern, Polysticum aculeatum, and the soft shield fern, Polysticum setiferum. On the walls near Norbury Park, wall rue, Asplenium rutimeraria, can also be found. This was thought to cleanse the blood, consequently giving the recipient a good colour. The most commonly seen fungi around London this month are usually the remnants of old bracket fungi, such as the birch polypore, Piptoporus betulinus, artist fungus, Ganoderma applanatum, and grey bracket, Phelinus igniarius. Other large fungi may have started to grow their enormous fruiting bodies. For example, dryad saddle, Polyporus squamosus, the cauliflower fungus, Spiracis crispa, and the hen of the woods, Grifola frondosa. More common fungi making regular appearances, as they did last month, are sulphur tuft, Hypholoma fasciculare, Jew's ear, Auricularia auricula judai, the tripe fungus, Auricula mesenterica, coral spot, Nectria cinnabarina, and oyster fungus, Pleurotus austriatus. Less common species, only seen occasionally, and then usually in small numbers, include the orange peel fungus, Alluria aurantia, scarlet elfcup, Sarcoscypher coccinea, yellow brain fungus, Tremella mesenterica, candle snuff, Xylaria hypoxylon, glistening ink cap, Caprinus micaceus, aniseed toadstool, Chrysocybe odora, dung roundhead, Stropharia semiglobata, deceivers, Locaria species, the horsehair fungus, Marasmius androsaceus, wood bluet, Blepistonuda, scurfy twiglet, Tuberia furfuracea, many zoned polypore, Coriolus versicolor, and some bonnets, Mycena species. Being so hard and solid, King Alfred's cake, Staldinia concentrica, seem to be a fixture every month of the year. This species is unusual in that it only ejects its spores at night.